Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Whispering to Your Soul. It's your boy, King Jacquel Martin. I'm back with another one. Fire episode, you hear me? I am here with my brother, man. And I got a crazy story to tell y'all how we met. But let me finish this beautiful introduction. Fire artist, fire producer, stepping into the directing world. Just Mr. Entertainment himself has shared the stage with my guy, Mr. Nipsey Hussle. Mr. Ktoefornia. What up, my boy?
What's up, bro?
Get it. Yes, sir, Ski. Welcome to the
man?
show,
I'm
man.
all right, man. Shit, glad to be here.
That part.
Got the foot massage going, man.
Get
you know
it.
What I'm saying? I can't wait to get into it, man.
That part. Well, tell the people about yourself a little bit, bro. Tell them what you've accomplished.
My name's Ktoefornia. I've been doing music since about 1994. I first stepped on the scene as a hype man for an artist named Marlon B. We were signed to A World Records, and about 94, we had a song called Paper Chase, used to be on the box. I don't know if people remember the jukebox. And then, started doing a lot of music in Arizona with my brother, rest in peace, Bomb Nameless, my producer.
Rest in power and love.
Yes. My producer, the music doctor who kind of put me on with Arizona, Dion, you know what I'm saying? He drove me around. Just like 96, I've been dealing with the Arizona music scene with iRock and a lot of the pioneers out there. So I consider myself like a part of Arizona's hip hop,
Okay.
Early hip hop culture too.
Shout out to all the trailblazers in AZ.
All my Calizona homies, my Cartier
You
homies,
did.
and I've always done acting and stuff like that, ghostwriting, and I joined a group with my brother TriStar called Entourage.
Shout out to TriStar.
YA, which is a umbrella up under Corrupt's Pentagon label, and
Dog Pound. Shout out to Corrupt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That brothers taught me a lot, and I got my feet wet, you know what I'm saying, really on some lyrical hip-hop with them.
Okay.
And then I branched off into acting and kind of just reinvented myself. I had a song on the album called Rep Your Set that dropped in 2006.
Wow.
It was basically a collaboration with the Bloods and Crips.
Okay.
And so I took that energy and chose to kind of reinvent myself as a real regular artist with broader avenues and broader crowds I want to reach. So, you know what I'm saying, I stepped in acting, I stepped in soul shit producing, and kind of just all-around entertainer. What made me try to do everything was I started doing all the stuff that people said I couldn't do.
I love that.
So that kind of inspired me. The no's is probably what helped me more than the yeses.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy to be sitting here, man. I did 8 years Smoke a Lot Radio with Yuck Mouth. Shout out to Yuck.
Shout out to Smoke a Lot. Shout out to Yuck.
Simone Taylor, Digital Soapbox, Steel, the homies and stuff like that.
Shout out to Steel. You know what I mean? We got to meet you in person. Good brother right there, that guy Steel.
Yeah, for real. That's a good bro. So, I just, I'm blessed to be for the journey more than anything that I done been on, and it hasn't stopped yet. And, just blessed, just happy.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people see your success. They see where you are, but they don't know the origin story, right?
Nah, they don't.
So let's get back to, first and foremost, how did you even fall in love with rap?
Honestly, I never had ambitions of rapping.
Okay.
It was when my boy had a record deal and he needed a hype man and he needed like a wing man. And so I kind of was just like a Flavor Flav or a Spliff Star type dude.
Okay.
So what happened was...
Shout out to both of them, especially Fave.
Yeah. So what happened was I ended up just starting off writing hooks.
Okay.
And doing ad-libs and skits and stuff like that. And I've always been a popular person in the community, so...
Yeah.
It kind of blended in with Marlon B needing, that street edge dude to, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like that, you know what I'm saying? And so what happened was after doing the album with him, it was kind of expected of me to do a solo album. So I was going to do an album with my cousin Reggie.
Okay.
And then we ended up leaving the label. So now everybody's kind of expecting Kato to get down. So I just stepped out on faith and started writing my own bars and writing my own stuff and kind of just want to hone my own sound though. So I used to get most of my production from Arizona.
See, I think that's dope that you wanted to own your own sound and you didn't want to sound like nobody else, because a lot of people come in the game sounding like somebody already doing it when they don't understand the importance of being authentic.
And I had a big, I remember Gonzo gave me this advice. I love Tupac so much you could hear it when I rapped.
Yeah.
So one day, Gonzo, rest in peace, had told me.
Rest in peace, Gonzo. Rest in peace, Pop.
He's like, man, you dope already, Kato, and we could tell, you like Pac. We could hear it. You need to sound like Kato.
Yeah.
So I had to take that advice and kind of just hone my own type of rap style and like what I choose to rap about and what I choose not to rap about, and
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. And so since me and Marlon B started off rapping, we couldn't cuss.
Yeah.
We was a polished group, so we was I got kicked out of Caution before I was dealing with
Okay.
Marlon B. That's when they was called Proceed with Caution. It was a 4 or 5 man group.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And so before Ice Cube got a hold of them, I was practicing with
Shout
him,
out to the big bro
and I was
Cube.
like the choreographer because I used to house dance.
Oh,
And
okay.
so,
I didn't know you was lit like that.
oh yeah, I was one of the baddest house dancers out.
Bitch,
Like
you
for
don't know
real.
nothing about
I
no
was.
jitting, no
eh,
footwork, none
Anybody
of that.
watching this remember Orco One from KWS? We used to be at Club Nouveau,
Okay.
killing it.
You used to
Like,
go
for
crazy,
real,
huh?
I was that nigga.
Okay. Okay.
So it's kind of like I was doing the music already, and it was like I got with my boy TriStar, and I started taking it more serious because all them niggas, Roscoe, Tri, Bizzle, Tone, Slow Stallone, rest in peace, all the homies was hard. So I'm like probably at that time kind of the weakest link lyrically, but I
Yeah.
probably got bars of the things I'm saying because
Yeah.
I didn't cuss.
Yeah.
So I knew how to rap without cussing. A lot of niggas didn't know how to do that like
Yeah.
that. Like, and so I learned, a lot of rap
Do you think that
configurations.
helped you master your craft?
It
because
helped
that?
me master it, and it helped me, it broadened it because it would get to the point where I would be on songs with some niggas, and I just knew how to like say hard shit without cussing.
Yeah.
And a lot of niggas would use big words, but probably wouldn't use them in the right cadence or the right way, but just to rhyme.
Yeah.
And so I always was cognitive of that. You know what I'm saying? So I just was like on my Kato shit, and so I just I kind of spit game when I rap, and you know what I'm saying, like lessons and funny shit, like, but it's all true.
Right.
Because I'm an emotional rapper, so I rap about what's going on at the present time.
Right.
I never was like I didn't know how to do the bragging rap. Like if I didn't have no money, I didn't know how to rap about having money, and I ain't had
So you
none.
ain't had,
I
yeah.
wasn't good at that shit.
Yeah.
I was good at just that real shit of what's cracking, what's going on, state, current affairs,
Right.
stuff like that. Because
I think that forced you to grow as an artist too, though.
yeah,
You
it
know
did.
what I mean?
I came up loving rappers like KRS-One, Rakim, Ice Cube, Pac, MC8.
Shout out to the
You know what I'm
GOATs.
saying? Richie Rich. Them was
Yeah.
always my favorite rappers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
LL
yeah.
Cool J type shit.
Yeah. And KRS-One, man, that
Yeah.
first of all of them are legends,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, especially in the rap game. I just think sometimes where it comes to thought-provoking thoughts,
Yeah.
KRS-One is different.
Yeah.
I was watching the interview where he was like, yo, close your eyes and say McDonald's. I was like, what is he talking about? So you close your eyes, you say McDonald's, right? And he was like, can you see it? How can you see something with your eyes closed? And I just thought that was so thought-provoking. He's like, because there's more to you than what you think. And these are little things that we don't pay attention to.
Yeah.
He said, close your mouth and say rock star. Could you hear yourself say it?
Yeah.
He was like, how are you able to hear but you didn't speak? See, a lot of us don't even understand our power. So when I'm saying just thought provoking, I think, KRS-One is just in his bag
For
when
real.
it comes to saying things that will make you look in the mirror and question yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The teacher.
Yeah. Thank
The
you.
teacher. That's the teacher right there.
Yeah,
And I used to
yeah.
like his song, Why Is That? When
Okay.
he was breaking the Bible down. And that was like the only song I could really play with my grandmother in the car with her.
Okay.
So when he was breaking down Shem and the Hebrews and stuff like that, so I came from knowledge when I started falling in love with hip hop. It wasn't about lying, it wasn't about fronting, it wasn't about guiding stuff in the wrong way. So if the lyrics is powerful and they violent, that's because they come from a truthful situations, not because I want to say I'm hard.
Right.
You know what I'm
Allegedly truthful situations.
Yeah, allegedly truthful situations.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Okay.
that's how that went.
So when you started rapping, what was that one moment when you was like, yo, I know I got it? I'm not even just a rapper, I'm an MC. I know I got it.
I wrote my first 16 to the instrumental "You're My Lady" by D'Angelo,
Oh,
and that
wow.
was the first. Cause I used to like how I come on boom 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 boom
Hey.
bam bam boom boom boom. So I remember my first rap was like, I traced my mind back to the days the joint straight had me on tways, but now to make a ride, a smile, Vega bunch, we gon' blaze. Keep the crap, something like that. Like, so I was kind of just rapping off the bass line because Marlon had did a lot of the writing. I just wrote hooks.
Yeah.
So after a while, I wrote another verse to the "What They Do" by the Roots beat.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That
Shout out
what
to the
they
Roots.
do, what they do to that. So I kind of like start catching my shit and catching my flow and catching my punchlines, and I knew that I'm a funny dude, so I'm like mixing all of it together. and I was always, you know, good with talking to ladies. So I had like the LL Cool J type of stuff I could do.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I was diverse with how I could rap with on any subject at any given moment.
Right.
Because I had so many layers to myself that I wasn't able to really exploit until it was time to do music.
Okay.
You know.
So music was like an outlet for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
I've always wanted to act, but I used to just do plays. I never had been on a movie screen, so I had to learn how to condense my acting skills for the screen, opposed to, you know, when you're doing plays, you
Of
can
course.
overact and improv, and the crowd will never know you lost your line.
Right.
Whereas you got this section you got to do when you're doing movies.
Yeah.
You know, you got to follow the certain, you got to, you know, so all of that stuff played a part in how I rapped. I took all of that stuff in with the acting and
Okay.
mixed it up.
So let me ask you something. If I'm listening to your music, what do you want me to take away from it as a listener or as a fan?
I want you to hear the fact that you listening to somebody that's coming from a truthful place, and the journey is what I speak on.
Love that.
So if I'm, like I said, if it's a hard street sounding verse, that's because I'm proud of me coming out of that situation more than me.
Glorifying the streets.
Yeah, it's because it's just telling my journey, because I want people to know the journey, because it's always somebody I look like somebody that's right now don't know how to be, don't know what avenues to take to be normal or be they self, because they caught up in the mental matrix of
Yeah.
being one dimensional or being something that they want to be accepted, but you got to accept yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before you can be accepted, and I had to learn that the
What,
hard
what
way.
what was a moment that made you say, you know what, I just want to do things different in my life. I don't,
When I
a lot of times people are in the street, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm from Ben Harbor, Michigan, or whatever else, because there's really not a lot of other options,
Yeah.
and you want to survive, and then or for the lack of love at home. You know what I mean? So sometimes I have friends just like, yo, this isn't the lifestyle that I want anymore, and I want to do things differently. And what was that moment for you to, you know what I mean?
the moment for me was when I got in trouble, and I was never like, as a youth, I didn't get in trouble like that. I never been a juvenile hall, YA, none of that stuff. So my
Okay.
first time getting in some real trouble, I ended up getting sent to prison for 3 years.
Okay.
So I wasn't a jail dude. So I was the guy that when I walked through the yard, I came through on that bus, niggas would see me and be like, what the fuck you doing in here? What you doing in here? Like, it wasn't a, you know what I'm saying? And so I wake up every morning at 5 to go to breakfast and walk. And my dad had already did 27 years, and I didn't want to create that as a culture in my life. And I knew for a fact that I was better than that. But I went to jail for getting money. So it wasn't the time, it was the fact of, okay, worst thing about prison is not being scared of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I seen that I wasn't scared of the shit.
Right.
That's what made me not go back. Because
Right.
my fear of flying was in reverse for me, because it was like, nigga, I don't want to sit there and look at this shit like this is easy peasy.
Yeah.
And I'm also know I'm better than this. I know I'm doper than this. I'm too damn smart to be sitting in this motherfucker.
Right.
And so I had my daughter, and I made a cognitive decision to just bet on myself and go all out with it, win, lose, or draw. And whoever going to lead me for that decision, you know, you didn't want the best for me anyway. So I decided to change my life and really stick to it and put myself out there for my dream, which was it was a hell of a road, but I just, like, even to this day, I still so much believe in myself.
Yeah.
It's like I never trade that feeling I got for myself and my talent in for nothing.
I love that.
You feel me? I'm not doing that, because sometimes you can appear so humble, you're unconfident.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And,
And just like
and it'll
people
work
throw the
against you.
narcissism word around, you have to have a certain narcissistic energy about yourself for somebody that's a fan of your music or your work to feed off your energy. Because when you're an entertainer, people are inspired by the confidence. That's why they call it swagger.
Yeah.
But if I don't appear to have confidence or give a fuck about myself, there's nothing for a person listening to my music or watching my scenes to take from me.
Right.
Because I'm not giving no energy up.
Right.
And that's what I chose to do, man, and just put it all out there, win, lose, or draw, because God gave us this talent for free. So I'm not going to get an excuse when I get to heaven and he like, nigga, I told you.
Yeah.
I gave you all the tools. You chose not to use them. I'm not going to be the little dude on the boat in the ocean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So regardless of how somebody feel about me, I'm in love with the journey of myself, because I know where I came from, and I know I earned the right to have this attitude.
I need you to say that one more time for the people that's listening. Look in that camera right there and let them know you're in the love for the journey for what?
I'm in love for the journey for myself.
And I think that's powerful because I don't think people understand that.
Nah.
I think a lot of times, you know, people don't realize that they're a masterpiece, but they die a copy
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they don't know how to authentically be them. They
Nah.
see somebody else, they want to jack that swag, this and that, but you don't
Yeah.
even understand that, yo, you are already perfect. You're already amazing. You're already blessed. There's not another you nowhere here on this planet. So why would I want to go copy Kato? No disrespect to you because
Yeah.
what you're doing is amazing. Now, I can be a fan. I can honor your talent and honor how you're using your gift, but I don't need to try to be you. You
Yeah.
feel me? I can learn from you. I can take from you, and I can understand why you're a return on investment, how you changed your life and things like that.
Yeah.
But I could take little things to help me become a better version of me. But I
Yeah.
don't need to be you. I just need to equip to be a better version of me because I'm already lit.
And it comes from really looking yourself in the mirror and being honest with yourself, because it's two places that your truth lies: the left or right side of your pillow, and when you look in the mirror. Those are only times that you can get some truth out of life. Because as soon as you wake up, you're waking up to a world of lies, a world of deceit, a world of
Yeah.
deception.
Yeah.
So when you're looking in that mirror, you got to fall in love with yourself along with the
Come
journey for
on,
this to
man.
work. It's
Come
not
on,
going to
man.
work.
Come on, man.
It's not going to work. You
Come on,
got to
man.
give a fuck about yourself first. Accept yourself and who you are instead of running around here trying to be accepted,
Yeah.
because to be accepted means you don't fully love yourself enough to fill that cup.
Yeah. And people are trying to manipulate stuff. They'll say, oh, you're being a narcissist for having self love.
Nah,
No, I'm not being a
nah,
narcissist. I love myself. And there's nothing wrong with me loving myself. And just because I love myself doesn't mean you have to be uncomfortable with
you
yourself.
shouldn't be
You know what I mean?
penalized for that,
Like,
you know?
so, I do motivational speaking. I talked about the
Yeah,
Toastmaster stuff with you,
yeah.
right? And I said, I'm the best motivational speaker that the world hasn't heard yet. And they were like, what? You think you're better than Eric Thomas? You think you're better than Les Brown? I'm not in competition with them.
Yeah,
I'm in competition with me. I am the best version of me. See, what triggered you was that I said that I'm the best.
yeah,
But instead of you being triggered about me wanting to be the best version of me, when was the last time you looked in the mirror and told yourself you're the best? Because there's not a best. There's not. You're already the best you. There's not another you. So the day that you were born, you were the best you.
yeah,
The question is, do you choose to be the best version of you?
yeah.
There's a difference. And the beautiful thing about looking in the mirror is, bro, yo, you can lie to anybody.
Yep.
But when you look in that mirror, you can't lie to yourself
You
because
know if you
yourself gonna
gave it,
tell you
you
lying.
know if you gave it your full shot.
Yeah, yeah.
You feel me?
That part.
You know it. And one of the greatest things, I'm gonna never can't stress this enough. Once I figured out that I was the one in my own way, no, wasn't nobody finna feel sorry for me because they sitting back looking at me waste my talent. But I'm there, I'm sitting next to them with my soul lying dormant for their entertainment purposes.
Come on, man.
You feel me?
Come on, man.
I just know in my heart I'm better than that.
Yeah.
It's too much love been invested in me.
Yeah.
Like from all kind of people,
Yeah.
walks of life and stuff like that. And I have to own that, and
Yeah.
I have to embrace it. That's why I say fall in love with the journey.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you said it. Like Les Brown uses this example. I might have said it on a previous show, but I love it so much. He says, imagine that you're at a church, and when you walk in the church, you see a casket, and when you see the casket, you see yourself, and you're automatically transformed into the casket. And when you're inside the casket, you open your eyes, and when you open your eyes, all of your talents are standing around you,
Yeah.
and they just got a question for you. Why didn't you use me?
Yep.
Why did you break up with me? Why'd you stop believing in me? Your friends talked about me. I've been with you your whole life.
Yeah.
When did you allow someone to trick you out your spot?
Exactly.
You feel me? Because the funny thing about talents and gifts are your talents and gifts aren't even meant for you. It's meant for you to give away or showcase. Because how would anyone know that you're a talented rapper if you never shared that with the world?
Yeah.
You're supposed to own your gift. You're supposed to master your gift, and then you're supposed to share that gift. Because your gift can make way for your purpose. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
And a lot of times people don't own their gift because I'm too busy trying to slide in your lane and do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to master the gifts that I have.
That's a big
Because
reason.
that's where the freedom is. The freedom is in mastering you and not being an ant following everyone else.
And that's a big reason I had to separate myself from a lot of people, because I seen that my love for myself was irritating people. You know what I'm saying? It was fucking with their demons. You know what I'm saying? But
Come on,
these
man.
my blessings.
Come on, man.
Sometimes I was sharing my blessings with people, but God gave me, those are mine.
Yes, sir.
He got yours.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And I had my little cousin is the one that opened my eyes. Every crying night I had, wondering why, the answer was always, you nigga. You why? And I had to figure what that meant out. And I had to separate myself and step out on faith.
Yeah.
And when people say sacrifice, it ain't always worldly stuff. I had to sacrifice certain energy not to be around me because it was dragging me down, or I wasn't living up to my own potential because
that's some real stuff.
I was everybody's entertainment but myself, but they was laughing at me. They
Say that
laughing
again.
with me.
No. Say
I
that
was
again, bro.
everybody's entertainment but myself.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you know how powerful that is, bro? That's a gem. One more time, because I want that one for me.
Everybody's entertainment except myself.
That's crazy because we can go out there and do everything for everybody, but don't know how to do what we need to do for us.
That's why us as artists carry so much pain, because we cover our pain up in entertaining, but it was overflow was coming. Then I started losing. I lost my brother. I lost my other brother. It was like, what you gonna do? And it was like my kids growing up, and I can't fall off. They can't open their phone and their daddy's a fuckboy on YouTube and into bullshit. And so I couldn't go out like that. I'm not gonna go out with y'all expecting me to go out like that.
Yeah.
And so I went all in. I pushed all my chips to the table for myself.
Yeah.
And all I prayed for God was to just give me understanding of what you're trying to show me.
Yeah.
Show me how to understand what you're showing me, because you can show me stuff, but I don't know what I'm looking at.
That's fire.
And I get on, and when I pray, I actually get on physical knees. You know what I'm saying? Because I really be needing the help. I really be wanting the help. But once I had to stop lying to myself.
You had to do what, my boy?
I had to stop lying to myself. And I had to stop running.
Let him cook.
You know, I had to stop running.
A lot of us are runners. A lot of us
Yeah.
are track stars in our
Yeah.
own lives and
Yeah.
don't even understand that we're supposed to be the hero of our own story.
Yeah.
And the question is, we save everybody else, but we don't know how to save ourselves. You got to be willing to save yourself. You got to be willing to be honest with yourself. You got to be okay with your flaws and learn how to turn them into strengths. That's the only way to grow.
It's like, first I used to sit there, because, you know, when you're a believer, us as believers, we get conceited because we think God just got us.
Yeah.
And so we just say, I'm going to step out on faith. I had to step in on faith.
One more time.
I had to
He's
step
cooking.
in on faith.
Yeah.
Stepping out on faith meaning, do the work. I'm going to just pray if I make a mistake.
Yeah.
No, I had to step in and say, I forgive you, Larry. I forgive you, Kato. I had to forgive myself. And that took the power away from all the people that tried to guilt me into actions and guilt me into shit. And that's how they was trying to trick me out of my spot. They were using my loyalty against me, the fact that I'm not a punk and I'm not a coward. So they were reversing that energy, and I was hurting myself. Well, all while I'm I'm missing out on spots. I'm missing out on a lot of opportunities. And I had to forgive myself, and I had to step in on faith.
I think that's beautiful, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's beautiful. People don't know how to forgive themselves because you've been manipulated. And what I mean by that is a lot of people think forgiveness is a weakness. Forgiveness is a strength, bro. Forgiveness allows you to stop carrying so much bullshit and dead weight. And the most beautiful thing that I really loved about what you said was you had to go back and fall back in love with you.
Yeah.
You had to go back and talk to the 5-year-old, the 10, the 15, the 20-year-old self to say, hey, bro, it's okay. Thank God we don't look like what we've been through.
Yeah.
We made it. We're overcoming. We're getting stronger. We're getting better. I know we went through a lot of shit, but even shit is fertilizer. And shit can make things grow.
Exactly.
So when you understand the shit or whatever else, you know how to use it to be able to benefit, to become everything that you are. And you know how to avoid bullshit now. Because you already know what it looks like.
Yep.
You already understand it. You know what I mean? So a lot of people run from their shit instead of just embracing the shit they go through, so that way they can learn from it and clean it up. You know what I mean?
I always just say I went chin up, chest out, going head up for fame. I went head up for mine. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw, I can look in the mirror and say, I'm giving it my all. So sometimes you can be so worried about your dream coming true, and then you're not cognitive that you living your dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
I prayed to be in the movies. I prayed to be in the music. I prayed to be an inspiration. I prayed to have love in my life. I prayed to be brave enough to give out love. You know, I asked for this stuff. I never have prayed for money. Because I've always felt hella rich, and that's why people felt I was so cocky, because I'm like, I really believe God got me, like, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
And
K-Ro.
I represent that shit in a way that works for me, not to show you. Now, if you can notice it, that's cool, but that ain't my point of attack because this is how I self heal. I self heal with being busy with spreading love and spreading ism because people don't know I've been shot up 3 times. People don't know I lost my lung getting my video shoot shot up. People don't know I was in a coma for 7 days getting shot at Vesuvius at the club in 2001. People don't know I've been stabbed. People don't know about mental health and times I faltered and hurt myself going crazy, mentally. People don't know the addiction I was fighting with liquor and pills and certain shit when I was living my Hollywood shit, you know what I'm saying? And I embraced that shit because I survived that shit, you know what I'm saying? I earned it. I earned that shit, man. It's mine. Fuck that. I earned that shit.
I love it, bro.
I was, I,
But everything that you just said right there, bro, is proof that you are truly unbreakable. And what I mean by that is one moment doesn't define your life.
no, and I
You
wasn't
do.
gonna let it,
You do.
you
Every
know.
day you wake up as an opportunity to do something different.
Yeah.
And you got to take advantage of it, bro. You got to take advantage of it. Like, what do you want your legacy to be, man? When it's all said and done.
I want my legacy to be a person that was not afraid to go out here and normalize being normal.
Oh, bars.
Normalize being normal if you don't get nothing else out of this interview. We need to normalize being normal to the kids, I'm not really a relationship type dude far as advice because everybody's a case by case scenario. I don't look at women in a generalized thing. So I can't tell you, but I know that once you let go and understand it's all right to be normal, it's all right to be the trash man, the doctor, the regular person. You know what I'm saying? We got these kids thinking they want all the results, but nobody want to go through. Just like you go, no disrespect, but say a woman go get a BBL, but then she go get a chili dog afterwards. But you got to work out and change your diet for that cosmetic surgery to work. And these niggas and females and men out here in the new generation are not pumping up being normal.
Yeah.
We got all these kids living in a fantasy, to try to be something that they probably not gonna be able to attain. Because whatever thing you get into in life, you're gonna have to love yourself to be good at it. You know.
Look, man, that first of all, that is fire, bro. I appreciate you sharing that. I hear your passion, I hear your inspiration, bro, because how did toxicity become normal?
Yeah.
How did toxic
Yeah.
become normal and normal become toxic? They flipped it
Yeah.
on
They
us.
flip.
They've manipulated
You can
us, you
get
know?
somebody speaking how I'm speaking, and there's people that would consider that lame. But then if I can be on here popping my shit and just being entertaining, be a court jester up in this motherfucker, I'm called a fictitious character called a real nigga.
Yeah.
This fictitious character when created called a real nigga, and we done got people thinking that the real nigga is some guy that's on the yard doing such and such and ain't afraid to no disregard for life, and he the real nigga, but the goddamn construction worker or the nigga that can code and make apps is a lame. The real nigga is a person that knows how to stay out of situations. That other nigga just a nigga who got caught.
Yeah.
So, no, that ain't what I'm pushing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and lie. I'm not one of the lying ass big homies. No. We need to stop that narrative, man, because and then we know it's fucking us up and we still don't want to do nothing about it. And when you from South Central, a very toxic city no one out here likes each other. But we love our city, if that makes sense.
Ain't that the trick, though?
We don't even like each other in LA.
Why you think ain't that the trick?
You could be a rapper in Oakland and never be mainstream and make millions. You can't do that in LA because we don't like each other. Yeah. And we make that a culture. It's a culture of fuck each other.
Yeah. And guess what? That's manipulation.
Yeah.
That's being tricked out your spot. Because the most scariest thing, my boy, is if we ever knew how to, one, fall back in love with ourselves. Because we can't have unity without self-love.
Our whole city and coast got tricked out our spot as soon as Pac died. And then they stopped wanting to pump up any kind of street music or gangster music if it came from California.
Yeah.
But if everybody else could wear khakis and talk that shit, but a nigga from LA, we got tricked out of our spot. in all kind of different ways out here in the city. How we do each other, how we do out of towners, like the whole culture. That shit ain't straight.
Yeah.
But you still gotta survive in any jungle you living in. You gotta know how to survive. But that don't mean I'm 100% with what goes down out here. But I'm also not nobody trying to change nothing but me and what I can control with my 6 children and my 3 grandchildren. You feel me?
Yeah.
And any other adopted kids and grown-ups that do want some love or some energy or some advice from me, I rock with that.
Yeah.
I don't try to force my shit on nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think I'm better than nobody, but I'm not worse as you either. Fuck that. I'm not rolling with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I also don't want to waste your time trying to bother you with some common sense.
Look, you can't
You know what
force
I'm saying?
nobody to
Yeah.
change without even showing the change. And sometimes the most powerful thing is not saying nothing. It's being,
Yeah.
it's letting them see it in action.
And
Because then it turns into, well, if Kato can do it, I can do it. You feel me?
And I look at it like this, King. Even people that look at me as a lesser person, that should really pump you up to go pursue your dreams, because it really should be, if this nothing ass nigga can do it, I can do it. If you need to reverse the energy like that to get yourself off your back,
Yeah.
use me as a muse.
Yeah.
But if you able physically to do it, whatever your dream is, I'm not talking about just entertainment, just anything.
Yep.
Give it a shot, man. Give it a shot. Fuck it. What you got to lose that you ain't already lost? And you can't be talking about no loss if you ain't never gained.
Yeah. Like, here's a trick question. If you made it this far in life right now, and you haven't even played all out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you really haven't even given life your all, what would happen if you woke up tomorrow and you just went all out every day? Not
Every
just
day.
one day, every day. What would happen in life? See, a lot of people are scared of change, but insanity is doing the same thing over and
Expecting
over
a
again
different
and
outcome,
expecting
yeah.
change. But there's a price to pay. The price to pay is the price to change or the price to stay the same. What would happen in your life if you woke up and you played all out with everything that you did? What if you stopped getting distracted? What if you really just locked in? What if you really just focused? What if you just really said, I'm gonna do it, give it my best, whether they say no?
You know what another moment that really threw me over the top was when you gave me the role as Pastor Collins in Ktoefornia.
Ha!
For the simple fact,
Come on, man. Come on, man.
you stepped out on faith for me and didn't even give me a script.
Come on, man.
You didn't even know I was gonna push that line
Come
like
on,
that
man.
with the devotional side and everything. And that's when it took a brother from Michigan and a brother named Romeo Holloway, shouts out to Romeo,
Yeah.
to give me a shot.
Look, let's reverse it, because y'all was like, where did that come from? Let
Yeah.
me tell you how I even met Kato. What studio was that?
We was at CBS.
CBS Studios.
yeah.
You was doing a radio show.
Yeah.
I was doing a radio show. And I think we just met in the elevator. And we had a dope ass conversation. And I told you about my movie Twitter Fingers.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, listen, I got to film, because I was in school. Still,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I was like, look, I don't know how we gonna work together, brother, but I just like your energy. I like your conversation. I was listening to your show, and I just like where your head at. And I just feel in the future, one day we gonna work together.
And we kept tapping in on
Right?
the phone. And
We'll tap it on the phone, Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, whatever it was, right?
Yep.
And then that one day came, and I was like, yo, I need to make a music video for class. I've never directed a music video before.
Yeah. And that's really hands
Yeah.
down my best video.
Yeah, I've never directed a music
Yeah.
video before, but I have an idea, you know what I'm saying, about a music video. Do you have any songs that, that you could allow me to do for the music video? Mm-hmm. And then you gave me the song, what was that? It's Nothing?
And it was the message, and It's Nothing that I was trying to push.
Yeah.
And that's my girl's favorite joint. When we got together, I was like, it got to the point I goddamn tired of hearing my own shit.
Yeah.
That particular song.
Yeah.
Because I made the song 2012, I believe. 2014 or 12, something like that. I made the song. So I've been sitting on the song.
We shot that, 2022 or something like
During
that?
the pandemic.
Yeah, during the pandemic. Yep.
And because when we had the COVID officer on the set and everything.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to give a message up on the song, basically, whatever you out here doing in life, if you ain't doing it for something, you doing it for nothing. Mm-hmm. That includes slanging, pimping, whatever you do to get your money. If you're not doing it for a common goal of change, you're doing it for nothing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to package it up in a way that didn't make me sound like I'm finger wagging, but by me being an actual person from the community, the street, and the culture, I felt like that message had come across because I'm one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I was honing my inner Machiavelli Tupac, you know what I'm saying? My inner Nasir Shakur Jones type shit.
Yeah.
And I Sent You Was Nothing. Shouts out to Moneybag singing on the hook.
Yo, shout out to Moneybags because she went crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you sent me the song, right? And I was like, okay, God, I'm gonna make a music video. I don't want to do a twerk video.
Yeah, that's what you told me.
I don't want to do, no Cribs versus Bloods, no game banging, none of that, blah, blah, blah. No disrespect to nobody's lifestyle of what they do, right? Because someone has to tell that story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the story that I want to tell or whatever else, I want to do something that's going to create change or make a better future.
Yep.
Because this is after my situation with the police and everything else.
Exactly.
And I was like, man, God, why you spare me? Well, if you're going to use me, use me. And if you're going to use me, let me be used in a way that I can create change that I can see. So I didn't even know that I was going to meet you. I didn't even know you was going to give me that song, It's Nothing. I was like, bro, I don't even want this to be like a regular music video. I want this to kind of be like some storytelling shit.
Yeah, it turned into
you know
a
what I'm
mini
saying?
movie.
Some type of thriller type vibe or whatever else. And the crazy part about it is I didn't even know how many people was going to show up to set.
Yeah.
And then we started shooting, and then the whole hood showed up.
Yep.
And I was like, yo, how am I going to get all these people in this music video? I thought it was going to be something intimate and small because, allegedly during COVID, we was only supposed to have 10 people on set.
Oh, man.
I won't say the number that was actually on set. I'll say that we rotated people in and out properly. That way it was only 10 people so we could shoot the video. But the whole hood showed up, so I was like, Kato.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Macadocious from Thug Life for showing up, my big brother.
That part. And, whose barbershop was that?
My boy Larry doing my thing. Shouts out to doing my thing. Pee Wee, Larry.
Yeah. Love. Thank you so much, bro. And, bro, we just created something amazing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I got in the lab and started saying, okay, I want to write this down, and we're going to do the story of Juice. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it was about, if you ever lost a loved one, right? Have you ever wondered what their last days was like? You know what I mean? So the story of Juice was basically, he was supposed to be in the studio making money. You know what I mean? But you know how the rap game is. When you start writing songs or whatever else, you might not see the bread in the beginning. You know, and so Kato was like, nah, stay here. Let's do this money the right way. He's like, nah, I'm going to go get this quick money. So he leaves. He does some B&E. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gets caught up. He loses his life. And then you was out passing a message to the kids and to the community. And then that's when someone told you about what happened to Juice. And then we see you walking through a day in the life of Juice and what his last days was like. And for me, that was my first music video ever, and I just thought it was so powerful. It was amazing how many of us showed up, showed out. Shout out to everybody in the music video.
For letting us use the studio.
Shout out to my No Name, bruh. That was love.
Straight up.
That was love.
Appreciate you,
That was
bro.
love. Listen, they don't even know the budget that we shot that music video. Oh, bro. They don't even know the budget that we shot that thing on. But let's just say we shot it on the Lord.
On the Lord.
the Lord and donations.
We stepped in on faith.
Yeah, we stepped in on faith.
Yep.
And guess what? We stepped on that project because that project go. You know what I mean?
Another thing I want to tell you probably didn't know, where we did the video shoot is between two rival gangs.
Yeah, I had no clue.
And I got it, brothers on each side.
To
make sure we could have
that we were safe and to be able to shoot
a green day, basically a gray area day. So if they see brothers out here in the alley, can y'all run me that favor?
Yeah.
And neither of those two hoods get along with each other.
Yeah.
And I'm not from neither one of those two hoods. Yeah. So for them to grant me the grace, shouts out to my 9-0s and my 8-Trey gangsters, man, for letting us get that done safely, man.
Appreciate you.
And
because I ain't know, but I just trust.
Yeah, I didn't want to spook you.
Yeah.
So I handled that on my own.
Yeah.
And didn't want to say nothing because I didn't want to announce it around then because it just wasn't important. But I just wanted to make sure everybody was safe.
Yep.
And nothing happened to nobody. And I understood that, all these people, somebody's gonna come around the corner and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of brothers.
Man, everybody showed up,
yeah,
bro.
And there was a lot of brothers from different communities just showed up to just support, man, and was happy that I was back on because I had took about a 3-4 years off doing music.
Yeah.
So people was happy out. Last video I did was probably one with Little Easy or something.
See, I didn't know none of that, bro.
Yeah.
I just reached out on the whim like, bro, I remember you from the conversation. It was fire. We gonna work it out. I ain't know nothing about the hood.
Yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah, I
listen,
didn't want
I
to
just
spook you.
showed up. Was like, this is what we gonna do. And then we started making up certain scenes. Like, okay, well, this right here could be the interrogation room where
Yep.
Juice is telling.
Yep.
Okay, this right here, we're gonna put up the Black Panther fist or whatever else, and then we're gonna have everybody walk in because since everybody showed up, I got to be able to use everybody. You
And
know
then
what I
I was
mean?
able to have my nephew, Sir Sheem, that's who plays Juice, and then
Yeah.
all my children. So
Yeah.
then my children got to see Daddy at work.
Yeah, yeah, and got
You
to
know
be a
what I'm
part
saying?
of
And
it.
got to be
Got
a
to be a
part
part
of it.
of
So
it.
I
Got to
felt,
get highlighted.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Baby girl, your daughter got to come up front. You know what I'm saying? With bunny bags
Old
and throw it
lyric,
up. You
yep.
know what I
Old
mean?
lyric, yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that whole situation. Shout out to Tori, who was an amazing editor. Shout out to my
Facts.
camera people who are amazing. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. We did something amazing, and it was my first time, and I was just like, you know what, God, I could do this.
Yeah.
I never directed before, you know what I'm
Man, you.
saying? I could do this. This could happen, you know what I'm saying? And so everybody was willing to listen. They were willing to take direction. Everybody was fired up. It was a long day, but
Long
because we
day. It was a
made it
real
so much
day.
fun,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And everybody had a good time, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even know.
Low riders showed up, all kind of homies, man.
Bro.
I appreciated to have that love, and that gave me a lit a fire under me because it's like
Life changing moment, you know?
yeah, and it kind of just like made me feel like when the homie was here and how he always had the community come out, and I
Wow.
wasn't gonna even touch on it, but just by us going at, I pulled from his energy that day. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I I asked for that to happen, and I pulled from that energy, man, because it's so missing in the city, man, of just being normal, man, and
Tell them the
regular,
truth, bro.
like for real, man. So
What does that mean to you? Because I could see the emotion, I could see the passion, I could see the feeling. Why is that so important to you, bro?
um, it's important to me, man, because I didn't have the opportunities that exist now. We didn't have it. We didn't have access to just open your phone and be an instant star in 60 seconds. You have to go out here and be dope. You have to go out here and know your lyrics before they even book the studio time. Because studios are 112 and 120 and $200 and $300 an hour.
Yeah.
Record at Paramount, mix at Echo Sound.
Yeah.
And the money that's out here and the opportunity that's out here, we didn't have it. And so the only time I seen my city looking like they wanted to take a positive turn was when bro was alive. And
May you rest in power and love too.
rest in power, Nip. And
Yeah.
we don't, Pac was we inherited Tupac. Nipsey was ours.
Yeah.
And I always say that on every interview that I speak on, bro. He saved my cousin life rocking with him, Cobby Supreme. If you really knew Cobby Supreme and some of the brothers out of Nipsey entourage, them was some savages. Them niggas was with that shit, and he saved these brothers' lives. And all these brothers is businessmen. And I juice from all that energy with them because we all grew up together. We all family. It's folks, you know what I'm saying? I remember when Sam was at selling shit and shirts and CDs and stuff like that and everything. I watched the journey, man, and me being in it so long to watch what I saw and being blessed to rock with him on a couple of different occasions. And I remember when I first was put on to him,
Yeah, I
the
remember you.
homies told me about him as far as on some, man, it's gonna be the new nigga. Woo, 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 woo. I did a public access show with him prior to that. And he was a youngster. He hadn't had his long hair yet, him and Rempar. And we did a public access show. I wish the homegirl could find that video.
I remember the one
And
that you had on stage when y'all was rapping
that was
together.
on my boy's daughter's birthday party. We was at Calabasas, and we ended up on stage. I performed that day too. I just never really post my performance because I always just be about
Yeah.
his, and just to be up there with him. And this is early stages when, he was still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I remember it was a time where, you know, the tour bus they was on was messed up, and we had to push the motherfucker. It was right by Kim Kardashian. How he performed for my daughter birthday party for the love, and I got up on stage with him. I'm hype manning for him, and then years later when he blew up, me and my Kadiak crew opened up for him in Arizona, 2012, and I already knew him from the streets, and I used to always go to Sloss and Tees and smoke with him and smoke with all the 6 and all the niggas up there. I'm a Crenshaw kid, so them all was family. But the segue back is just for that moment, I felt the energy of a brother like him who wasn't afraid to be himself and go against the grain and try to bring people together for a common goal, which is very difficult to do in Los Angeles, because to be involved in the streets and really be outside, and then you try to do something productive like rapping or acting, they label you a fake ass nigga or you Hollywood.
Yep.
Because that's why some kids are scared to display their talent. It's
Right.
a lot of niggas that's gang banging, but these niggas can draw. These niggas good on computers. These niggas can act. These niggas can write books.
Everybody got their
But nobody
talents.
want to use their talent because
Yeah.
we not praising it. We watering the wrong plant. And it ain't right. The whole stuff was established as community revolution and progress. It ain't about that no more. It ain't about protecting and guiding no more. Once we stop letting our neighbors whoop our kids' ass, it fucked up the whole family dynamic of us looking out for each other. And we just got to stop being afraid to show strength in ourselves and to go back to loving yourself. But I can't display no love for you when I got demons right here in myself. You can only so long fake niggas can pretend.
Yeah. I mean, that day, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know all that. As you guys could see my face, I'm learning during the interview. That day was beautiful. So many people showed up. Everybody, somehow God worked it out where I was able to get everybody on some camera time. You know what I mean? From everyone who had the low riders, from everyone who walked in with the Black Panther march on the inside of the video,
Yeah.
from all the amazing, beautiful children that showed up. You know what I mean?
And just to have artists
was
that
just dope.
actually was in a group with Tupac. We had
Yeah,
Thug
bro.
Life came and supported me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? There was other brothers and rappers that was supposed to come with, you know, they didn't or whatever, but
Nah, but who was there was supposed
who
to be
was
there.
there was supposed to be
You know
there.
what I mean?
It just
And
touched
shout out to
me
everybody who wanted
that,
to make
that
it.
these historic type of people
Yeah,
was fucking with me.
yeah,
You feel me?
yeah,
It humbled me.
yeah,
It woke me up to let me know, got to do work.
yeah.
You got work to do.
And the
nigga.
funny thing about it is, I'm not from LA.
Yeah.
I'm from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So half these people I really don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know was in the music video until after we shot, and then you told me, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for me to even say that I was able to direct somebody in a music video that was bro, do you know that I've always wanted to play Pac in a movie? I don't know if I ever told you that. I auditioned for Pac in the movie.
I think we discussed it
Yeah.
once, briefly. We did.
My boy, shout out to Industry Threat, Jeffrey Akoff. He actually played Pac in the Death Row Chronicles or whatever else.
Okay.
That's the homie. Two roles that I've always wanted to play. I've always wanted to play Pac as a young nigga. You know what I'm saying? I got Master of Everything across my chest. You know how you had Thug Life across
Yeah.
his. I got Master of Everything across my stomach because of Pac.
It's a trip.
Right? And then I always wanted to play Martin Luther King.
Wow.
Those are the two people that I always wanted
That's
to play.
one thing we got in common, because when they was auditioning for that, a lot of people wanted me to go audition. This is back when I wore a bald head.
Okay.
So I didn't always wear hair. You feel me? And everybody knew I loved Pac so much. You know what I'm saying? I mimicked a lot of the energy, but it was like similarities because I'm passionate also.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to be passionate.
Yeah.
And that, but I felt like I done got too locked in on being Kato now. I done got too locked in on being the first Kato, not the next Pac. Like
Yeah.
Kobe the first Kobe, not the next Jordan.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like,
And
nah,
Kobe better than Mike. I said it.
and I'm not gonna go audition for that, because I'm gonna sit right here and focus on making Kato a person, making Ktoefornia a person.
So somebody can say, you know what? I want to play Kato in the movie one day type. Yeah.
And like
Love
I
that.
say, I still believe, man. I feel like if any of this type of energy can soak off on anybody through the screen, in person, whatever, that's my goal. I'm here to be some type of vessel. And
Yeah.
not really on I'm not trying to go holier than thou religious. I'm just saying this is the energy that keeps me waking up in the morning. This is what keeps me going. Is if I know that I can power up somebody's passion.
Yeah.
That's enough for me. As corny as it may sound, this is what I feel my purpose is.
Love that, brother.
But I didn't know my purpose when I was running around here feeling worthless.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that
You know?
manipulation. You know what's so funny is that we did that music video and it went so well and it was so amazing, bro. I was like, I gotta work with you again. And then that's how we led to doing Twitter Fingers. which I do have to release so the world can see Twitter Fingers. Twitter Fingers is really dope.
It's finna come out.
It's really dope, and the way we put it together, or the way God gave it to me to put it together, a little Costco sample is basically about two brothers that lose their parents. You know what I mean? Lost their mother while she was doing the news, and people made fun of the situation. They trolled her about it, and they turned it into a viral TikTok dance. So whoever had the most likes in the comment section, we had to come see you about that.
And it was all downhill from there.
Yeah. So that was definitely a dope movie. We'll be working on the feature film. That's all in progress. You know what I'm saying? We're working on that.
Yeah.
But I just got to start putting out these gifts and giving the film away. So still, I'm gonna holler at you about that. Distribution. We're gonna get that going. You know what I mean? And get these films outside.
Exactly.
So the world can just enjoy. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies that you have to wait to the end to start putting all the pieces together to get a full understanding.
Don't give them too much though.
You know what I mean? But no, you showed up. You played the pastor for me. I was like, bro, I ain't even worried about it. Just do you. They don't even know that the beach wasn't even open.
The beach wasn't even
open. It wasn't even open, so we had to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Take the camera equipment on the sand.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Skeeter Jones, the legendary Skeeter Jones. We shot that. Shout out to Tori Thompson. You know what I mean? We went out there. Shout out to Aragon. You know
all
what I'm
them
saying?
dope actors, man.
Yeah. Marlon Webb. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that was outside with us. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all. You feel me? That was a fun time, bro.
Fun.
Fire film, bro.
And it's a trip because ever since you had me do that, I probably done about, I'm gonna say about, I might be 12 to 19 movies in.
Now, wow.
As far as
just directing, producing.
Yeah, because I was associate produced. I've director's assistant. Got a chance to work on a Nollywood movie, Mother-in-Law the movie with Vivica Fox is in it.
Sheesh.
Miguel Nunez.
It's funny because that day in the elevator, I was like, bro, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Nah, you can't. King, hey, Kato, I'm telling you, my boy. I said, bro, respectfully, I see something outside of just rapping for you, bro, and it's gonna be amazing. Just come on and do this project with me, bro.
Yeah.
And now, hell, you done did more projects than me.
I've been blessed.
And I love it.
I've been blessed.
I love it.
Yeah.
See, most people don't understand how to be happy for other people. I love it. And guess what? There's so much more to come.
There's more.
You feel me?
I was checking my IMDb the other day, and another movie I play a security guard with Richard Richard and Marcus Polk and Vanessa Simmons and Omar Gooden. That's the second movie I'm in with Omar because I'm in Temperatures Rising with Oba Oswald.
Shout out to the bro Omar Gooden. We was on the set together. We was doing a film together or whatever else. But I know he started doing the Comedy Jones, and then he started the Lakers Hotline. Shout out to the talented brother Omar Gooden, bro. I can't wait to work with you again. I was blessed to be in your presence. We worked so well on set. And let me tell you something, your professionalism is ridiculous. That's what I learned from you. When they say take something from somebody, your professionalism, your preparation, when it was time to get on camera and how you performed. And then when it was time to turn it off, you was, bro, I loved it. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to learn from what you did. I just want to put that out there. Yeah.
So there's a lot of, I got to even Richard Lawson. I'm in a movie with him. It's a 3-part miniseries going to come out about Sean Bell.
Shout out to Richard Lawson.
About Sean Bell.
Okay.
And I played one of his one of the deacons, one of his soldiers. When he go out there and meet the parents after it happens, I mean, I'm right there on the side of Cochise, like Richard Lawson, like one of the hottest actors in the 80s, 70s.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking like, that's when God was showing me, and then I done managed to work with Slink Johnson on Dirty Cops and.
Man, I got to work with my nigga Slank on Black Jesus. Good peoples, bro. It was funny because you never know how God gonna bless you. I was an extra, right? And then they needed some people to, no, I was doing stand-in on Black Jesus. They needed some people to help the kids with football. I used to play semi-pro football.
Okay.
So when I was on the field, I was telling them how to line up, how to run the plays. Shout out to Miracle, you know what I mean? And then they was like, yo, you know this. I was like, yeah, I used to play semi-pro in Germany or whatever before I tore my ACL. They was like, we're going to bump you up. They will help me do stunt coordinating, and then they brought me on as a PA for the rest of the season 3. So, you know, Sling be like, yo, Nick, What the weed at?
Man, I done worked on so much stuff with him, and like I say, I was wondering, it's just crazy, man. I don't want to sit there and be name dropping like that, but I actually got a chance to just sit there and be on stages with some of the best platinum artists on the West Coast,
Yeah.
even on the East Coast. Dave East, you know what I'm saying? Good friend of mine. Shouts out to
Wow.
Dave,
Shout
you know
out
what
to
I'm
Dave
saying?
East, man.
I got to record with him and Christian Combs. I don't
Wow.
know what happened to the song. It was a cool little interlude I
Yeah, yeah.
did though, but Christian
Shout
Combs
out to Christian Coles.
and J.O. Felony, the Bud of Law, the MC8, the
Yeah.
Taj from the Alcoholics, Spice One, got a song with Spice One. Like people I used to get dressed to in high school,
That's
I can
crazy
call as
work.
friends. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
crazy work.
I can. It's just, it's
Ain't
just
it
crazy.
crazy where,
It's
where you go
surreal.
where you go back over that timeline?
Yeah, because
You know what I mean?
everybody personally know how much of a big MC8 fan I
Yeah,
am.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so it's like for me to when I stopped working on Smoke a Lot, I was a guest host on Gangster Chronicles for a while,
Yeah.
and on Wake Your Punk Ass Up Radio with Aid, and to be on the first name basis. Now we got a movie coming out, me and Aid,
Yeah.
called Chances by
Yeah.
Oba Oswald, and my son is playing JJ in the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, 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 yeah,
He's a
yeah. We
main
talked about that.
he's a
We talked
main
about
character,
that.
JJ.
Yeah.
And I done get Santa Games with my son with Faison Love. I'm in that movie with him.
Wow.
I did a toy commercial with my son for Cat. And I went up
I
there.
told you,
I
bro.
went up there to his audition to take him, and he got his daddy a bag.
Listen,
Cause we look so much alike. They like,
bro,
would you like to be in it also?
bro, I told you, bro, from that day, bro, and
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy,
dope to sit here and sit back and listen to all the blessings that's happening for you,
man.
bro. I'm so excited for you, bro. And the funny thing is this is just a Costco sample of where
That's
God
all
taking
it
you.
is.
And you know what though? Ain't it crazy how at one point in your life you said you got locked up and how everything changed when you decided to change,
Yeah.
and that one moment of being locked up didn't get to define or limit you. So what would you say to a brother?
Wait, one more thing. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what was really confirmation is when I the day I got released out
yeah,
of Tehachapi and they sent me another. I was getting out.
yeah.
20 to 25 dudes walked me to the R&R because everybody in that
Wow,
yard was finna miss me.
that's beautiful.
I mean, I'm like, niggas, when I went on S time, that's when you got 18 days to the house.
Yeah,
So you just basically sit on bunk status, don't get no shit, so you don't get no stretch because niggas will try to trick you out your spot and keep
yeah,
you there. It was like the whole, not the whole jail, I'm not exaggerating, but to hit Crips, Bloods, Hoovers, gangsters, all kind of, one of my partners from Dago's, Vice Lord, I had an energy so dope up in there with people because, you know, people say I help their time go by fast, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And they walk me to R&R and that's release when it's time to get out. And I put on my dress outs and got up out of there. You see niggas damn it with tears in their eyes. Like, we're gonna miss you, my nigga, don't come back type of shit.
yeah,
So when I got out, I made sure I sent the yard 2 big boxes for everybody to shit. This is 2004, so back then you sent boxes
yeah,
before they had vending on there. And I sent the whole yard, both sides, A and B yard, some boxes, and you know, with all the stuff we used to always watch the Laker games with. But that was also something to where like I
that's
have an
dope.
energy that could bring people together was the point I was trying to make.
Yeah,
But I wasn't intentionally trying to be like that. But I knew the only way I could survive in here is being myself.
yeah,
I'm not gonna be it because I can't let these niggas have my mind.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that was another confirmation that the streets might allow me to have a voice if I use it right, but I can't spread no bad energy or no bad messages.
yeah,
So in my mind, already had in the back of my mind, I'm finna make a difference. And you know what I'm saying? I only had one kid at this time. I'm finna make a difference, but I never explained it to nobody. I never told nobody.
mm,
And I'm just so honored to have the chance to have a second chance. And I'm just thankful and blessed that the people I got in my life right now, I'm just honored, and I learned to respect it because you
yeah,
know disrespect was a survival skill to me at a time, and I was on my way headed nowhere fast as hell.
yeah.
And I'm just glad God gave me the sense enough to have sense.
Yeah,
You feel me?
I love that. What would you tell someone who's in your situation, wondering if they can turn their life around the way you did?
First, you gotta forgive yourself, because that's probably what's controlling you, your guilt. You know what I'm saying? And once you forgive yourself, you don't need nobody else to forgive you. But if you think you need acceptance and forgiveness, that means you haven't started loving yourself yet. And it got to start with loving yourself and letting go and just let your hair down figuratively far as take a deep breath and say, I forgive you. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I forgive you. And mean it. You know what I'm saying? Because people are P-R-E-Y on you.
Yeah.
And won't pray on you. Won't pray for you, but they'll pray on you.
That's a fact.
And you gotta look yourself and forgive yourself because you're not gonna find no truth until you get that. And once you know, because nobody can control you no more with guilt. With, oh, you ain't got this, you ain't got that, but I know what I do got. I got my ism. I got my ism. And you gotta keep your ism. Hold that shit dear. Because it's only one you. But if you don't hold no value in yourself, you ain't gonna even be able to display it.
Yeah.
And if you got to get called all kind of narcissistic shit, then so the fuck be it.
That's the
because
trick.
that's only people that don't love themselves that look at you like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe nobody supposed to wake up in the morning and not love themselves. That's insane. The fuck?
Listen.
And you want to see tomorrow? Why? You don't love yourself anyway. What the fuck you want to see tomorrow for?
I told y'all this was gonna be a good one. I told you my brother was gonna cook. Let me ask you a final question, Kato.
Oh, it's hour already?
Right?
I'm rolling shit.
You hear me? Why is self-love so important? Because out of your whole message of everything that I'm taking, you know, self-love always continues to stick out. Self-love and bringing the community together. Why is that so important? And bringing the community together.
Because I love the hell out of where I'm from. Not the grouping part of it, but my city. I love my city. I love my teachers and friends, and I know what we bring to the table collectively. You know what I'm saying? And I know that self-love is the only way that no one can control you. People try to directly control me with fake love, lust. That wasn't never my plan. I always knew when I was 8 years old, God wanted me to do something.
Yeah.
I knew it at 8.
Yeah.
I knew that shit. Straight the fuck up. I knew it. But I wasn't around people who had dreams theirself. So I had to dumb myself down to be around them when nobody was pushing themselves up to fuck with me.
That's good, bro.
And it's not their fault, and I didn't blame them. I just, I'm just glad God let me realize it. But at the end of the day, back to the self-love part, it wasn't always like, I grew up a cool childhood, like the community, like I didn't grow up, and it was the ghetto in the streets, but it was love. If something was done violently, it was out of love and protection. It wasn't out of wanting to hurt people as a sport or wanting to steal or take stuff from people as a sport. And I fell in love with the lie and got caught up. And I'm not afraid to say that it was a lie. And if I'm going to provide any type of worth, it's going to be self I love you I got from my cousin Roland. And
I love that, bro.
I just feel like, man, the same way that some people looked up to me for my negatives, look up to me more for my positives.
Yeah.
And I just feel like pushing that energy is needed. And if one or two more people push that energy and then it catch like wildfire, that's dope. And that's what
my
I push.
thing, bro. If negativity can catch wildfire, so can positivity.
Yeah, but
so
we gotta allow it.
Some can healing, you know.
You gotta allow it. That's why you just gotta forgive yourself for whatever it is. You might have been a certain person. People don't have a right to hold you to your past when you're trying to dictate a future. You don't have a right to do that.
Let this man cook.
You don't have a right to do that shit. Like, everybody talking about only God can judge me, but we run around there living
judging everybody every single
judgment.
day. Yeah,
and then,
come on now.
You so much care about what everybody think about you, but what you think about you.
Yeah.
And only you can answer that question because it's only you know.
I
I can't tell no nigga how to feel when he don't even know what he feeling because he's still lying to himself.
Come on, man. I tried to tell y'all, put your seatbelt on. I told you it was going to cook, man. Look, this is just another episode of Whisper to Your Soul. Kato, if people want to check out your music, check out your movies, what's your social media? How can they find you? How can they get at you? You know what I mean?
Okay, first I want y'all to watch Blinded by Love on Tubi.
Yeah.
Prime, hosted by China Salia.
Shout out to China.
We just starting our own production company, me and her, Visionaire Productions. She got a Hub City Bosses reality show finna drop. We got that movie, and we finna be doing Forced Entry. Got Temperatures Rising, that's finna drop in April. Chances is finna be coming out.
Yeah.
Love and Justice is finna be coming
Talk,
out.
come
I'm
on.
in with
Come
Vanessa
on.
Simmons and Richard Richard and Marcus Polk. And Dirty Cops LA, the series is on YouTube. The movie is on Tubi and Prime. Politics album, me and TriStar, that's out on all platforms. TriStar and KTOE Politics. My IG is KTOEFORNIA _ Ktoefornia official. Facebook is Cousin Duracell. Everything's Ktoefornia that you're looking for me with. KTOE, not KATO. And also didn't even tell you, I did my activist side. We said Martin Luther King. I marched with Martin Luther King III at Genesis 6. And I pawned my chain to go to that when Ice Cube brought 30 buses for the city in 2006 when that happened out there.
Wow.
I pawned my chain and hopped on the bus, and
Wow.
I got a chance to march and protest with Mos Def and Martin Luther King III out there in Jenna, Louisiana. And I went by myself solo. Some people along the way had poisoned our bus driver. We got stuck in Tyler, Texas.
Oh, you don't want to be in Tyler, Texas.
And it was like a chance I got to run for a cause that didn't have nothing directly to do with me. And a lot of people don't know that side of me, that I actually have protested. I've actually stood on front lines. I've actually hung out with mayor candidates and tried to offer solutions and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of layers people don't know about me. And I felt like, it's time, what I'm saying, to tell this stuff and to let this stuff out, man.
Because tomorrow ain't promised, so why not today?
No, and it's not, and that's what I'm pushing, man. And it is what it is, man. But I just want everybody, like I say, just fuck with yourself. A lot of people ain't gonna fuck with you till you fucking with yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just happy at all the stuff I survived. I'm happy at the brothers that I do got around. I miss a lot of my comrades and shit like that.
But they watching from heaven, you feel me? What type of
yeah.
show is you going to put on for them? That's the real question, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm blessed to have this brother. We keep connecting. We going to stay connected for life.
Yeah.
First of all, Kato, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for your friendship. I'm grateful for the man that you're still becoming and where you're going and the man that you are today. I'm grateful that I got to meet your family. I'm grateful that you did the music video. I'm grateful that you did Twitter Fingers. And today I'm grateful for having you on Whispering to Your Soul. You feel me?
Man, I'm thank you too, man.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people didn't want to gamble on me, man, and you did. And if I wasn't a person that was putting out that energy, we wouldn't have talked. We wouldn't have said hi in that elevator. I would have had that stigma, that tough shit going on where nigga don't want to speak and all that shit, and all that machismo shit would have fucked off opportunity.
You never know who's going to be the person to bless you.
All I had to do was be normal.
Yeah. You just had to be you. Like you've been saying from the beginning, all you had to do was be you.
Just be you, man.
You know what I'm saying? Look, that's our show, Whispering to Your Soul. I'm your host, King Jaquel Martin. You can find me on Instagram at KingJaquellMartin or Whispering to Your Soul. Episodes coming soon. Get ready for season 1. I got 25 fire interviews. Y'all gonna love them. Everybody out here talking that talk. And just wait, bro, because I know this episode right here, this one right here, gonna go crazy. You hear me? My guy, Ktoefornia.
On my mama. Love you, bro.
Yeah. Oh, before I let him go, where you get that slogan from? Because you're going
On
crazy.
my mama?
Yeah, I got to get that. I got to get the Only My Mama story.
Honestly, that's a saying that back in the day,
everybody used
on
to
the
say
streets, niggas couldn't say on the dead homies or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you want to let motherfucker know you telling the truth, back then you got slapped a line on your dead homies.
Yeah.
You got slapped in your mouth.
Yeah.
So it was like, on my mama, because everybody love their mama. So we did the Rep Your Set, and my boy Jackie Boy says it at the end of the video. He say, Harlem chastised niggas, you best bring your best guys, niggas, on my mama. So the way he said it was how our community talked.
Yeah.
So I kind of took that slogan off of how he said it from Jackie Boy, and I just went every song I would end it off with, and that's on my mama.
Yeah.
And I would say it a certain way, on my mama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it became a thing that people like to hear after Smoke a Lot.
Yeah,
and after a while, before RJ, shouts out to RJ, on my mama.
RJ.
He, it's always been a city word, but I just choose to use it like Jeezy said. Yeah, that was it was like my catchphrase that went with my voice and
Yeah.
shit like that, and people start liking it and shit. So I just rolled with it, man. But it kind of just fell in my lap. But the way I say it, the way I say it, off of my homie Jackie Boy.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
exclusive information
Yeah.
right here. That's a gem before we got off the show.
It is, 'cause nobody even ever asked me that.
You dig.
Yeah.
That's our show.